I'm a married guy, and I know we got some married people here, right? We got some, yeah, not very enthusiastic. That's a real married person. That's legit. Because the people are like, yeah, I'm married! It's like, okay, I don't think you understand what you signed up for, okay? I didn't see a lottery winners, you know what I mean? It's like, people get too enthusiastic, or it's like the people who just accidentally got on the ride at Six Flags, you know what I mean? They're like, yeah, that's a good roller coaster! Ooh, wait for the way down. Just like, talk to me at the end of that. But here's the deal. My wife and I went to a marriage counselor a while back, right, for real. And the tricky thing about marriage counseling is that both of you have to agree to be cool with whatever the counselor tells you to do, right? And honestly, I couldn't make this up. These are the things that he said to us. He said, even when Robin is screaming at you, tell her that you love her. And I'm like, that's not realistic. That's not. And he said, no matter how angry you feel, use non-judgmental words. I'm like, has this guy ever been in an argument before? Seriously. That's not even how an argument works. I don't. And then he said this to us. He said, Robin, no matter how bad you think things are between you, try to have as much sex as you possibly can. And I was like, okay, this guy is a genius. It's like the best $50 we ever spent. We come back next week, seriously, because he might talk about positions and stuff. I don't know. Right here. We have a child, and our kid recently had a formal graduation ceremony from preschool. Yeah. Yeah, you guys are familiar with this insanity, huh? Yeah, they had little caps and gowns, and music and diplomas. Yeah, I'll give you some contrast. At my first ever graduation ceremony, some of the kids had beards and criminal records. A couple of them had kids. And the other parents were like, oh, look at this precious milestone from the scholars. And I'm looking around and I'm like, the valedictorian is eating boogers. And the class president just lied down on the grass, okay? This is not an accredited institution, okay? I don't think so. But I'm like, you gotta accept where we're at. I'm like, fine, okay, let's have baby graduation. Can we also have a wedding for the cat? And throw the house plant at the bar mitzvah. My plant started pollinating. I say today it is a man, okay? And we were first kind of expecting, like really early, and okay, my wife and I were like older parents, older first-time parents, right? We just got into that game late, and it was awesome. But people try to be really nice to us and say, oh, it's going to be a little bit easier for you guys as you come into with age and experience. I'm like, I don't think that's how a baby works. Because my kid is screaming at me and smashing me in the head. I don't know if I can mellow them out with my REM cassettes. And stories about Ronald Reagan. You had Pokemon, we had a Gipper. All of us comedians, like, love acting, like, we all want to do more acting. And recently I discovered my acting range. So usually if I walk in to an audition and just grab me any day of the week off the street. Like I look like a teacher. I always hear that. I have like a teacher vibe, right? This guy plays some because I think I give off that vibe, right? Of like, disrespect and underpaid. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't do it, so you can't do that. It's just you can't do it. If I do this is called an adjustment, right? This might blow your minds. Check this out. Like this. Substitute teacher. Yeah. Somebody put me in a movie, okay? Thank you. I'm available. I go to a gym, and that's not even the funny part of the joke, actually. It's and it's a good experience overall. This is my least favorite part, is I'm in the locker room, and I have to see these ripped, shredded muscle guys. They're walking around, half naked, and it's like, and then I have to compare, and feel worse about myself. I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it, dude, right? It's got that, like, ice cube tray corn cob thing right here, where it looks like he's never had a meal at 7-Eleven. like he's been building the pyramids by hand. Whereas shirtless, I look like I have a very muscular turkey implanted under my abdomen. Like a really outrageous drug needle, that's what I look like. That's why I love hiking. I also love hiking, man, because hiking is off the grid, right? Nobody knows where and what time you started, or how long you were sitting on a bench. And no other hiker ever walks up next to you during your hike and goes, "Hey bro, mind if I give you a pointer on your hike?" No! No, the only things another hiker will say to you are, "Is that a deer?" and, "Woo, this is a lot of uphill." That's it. The hiker's just afraid of you. The statistical measure of hiking is so different from other sports. I love that. Think about it. It's like, "Yeah, shot 72, 300 par. I benched 285. I'm like, "I saw 5 butterflies." And a baby garden snake. 5 butterflies. This guy might be pro, okay? Do not bet against him, okay? But you know, I think about big picture stuff, big life philosophical stuff, and I've been kind of thinking like, someday, long time, hopefully, the end of my life, what will my major accomplishments have been? Those bullet points nobody can argue with. And I think about one way you can measure your biggest achievements. If you're famous, I'm not. It says it on your gravestone, right? Think about it, just like Sir Laurence Olivier, actor, or you know, George Washington, president. What is my gravestone going to say someday? That's kind of what bums me out. Like it's like Adam Gropman, stand-up comedian, substitute teacher, tech support specialist, door-to-door census worker, seasonally, gas station attendant, flower delivery man. Please seek out the gravestone. Work back, it's like more jobs. And it's like, for hotel and restaurant work, see other gravestones. Not a cool gravestone. Not a cool gravestone. All that's going to do is bump people out who visit the cemetery, right? It's like, "Honey, come here. No. You got to see this one. I can't explain it. Just look. Look at it. Yeah. It's so sad. It's like he's still trying to get work. Never hired a dead. Oh my God.